Hello everyone, I am Barış Sezer. I am a lecturer in Department of Medical Education and Informatics. Today we will talk about information literacy as a lecture. The module consists of two parts. The first of this is this video recording as a lecture, and also we have defined an assignment for you in the second parts. We will ask you to complete that assignment and send it to us back on the Blackboard. You will see this assignment as a single page, but of course you can duplicate as many pages if you want. As you know that the information is updated rapidly, the available information changes day by day, and of course we have to keep our information up to date. The situation is similar to reach information in daily life. For example, if you want to learn weather forecast, or you want to learn uh, price of a phone, or a score of football match, or to reach scientific data. You have to have a problem situation, and then we should be able to create appropriate research questions or daily questions according to our problem situation or aim. For example, let's take about in the field of medical education during the pandemic, such as distance education applications in pre-clinic semester. First of all, we must determine our research purpose in accordance with this question. Which technologies were used in this period? And we must determine our appropriate keywords. It should be pandemic, remote teaching, pre-graduation, distance education applications, and etc. Then we have to go to the and search appropriate resources. It could be a database, it could be an electronic journal, or our faculty library. This is how we can access this information and answer our research questions. At this stage, literacy comes into the scene. There are many different types, one of which is computer literacy. The other one is media literacy. When it comes to computer literacy, using office programs doesn't mean that you have computer literate person. You should know security measures, be able to use antivirus programs effectively, be able to recognize spyware programs, or use some programs effectively to use computer technologies while doing a project. The next literacy types and the module information literacy. Let's look at the define. Is a set of abilities requiring individuals to recognize when information is needed and have the ability to locate, evaluate, please don't forget, locate, evaluate, and use effectively this information. If we define ourselves, I am a good information literate person, we have to have some features. For example, determine the extent of information needed. We have to limit ourselves and our aim, our problem situation. The next one, access the needed information effectively and efficiently. It's important because if we search the database, if we search the all journals, all papers, we have to make a limit. For example, in 2000, from 2000 to 2007, for example. And which sources? For example, just medical medicine journals, or just Google Scholar, blah, 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 etc. The next one, evaluate information and its sources critically. When we reach a journal or a paper, a conference paper, for example, we have to evaluate it and its sources critically. Who wrote, when did it write, when did it publish, and etc. The next step, incorporate selected information into NOW's knowledge base. In this stage, our uh, our background is important, of course. The next one, use information effectively to accomplish a specific purpose. What was our purpose or aim? Which technologies were used in remote uh, this period? And the next one, and maybe the most important, is understand the economic, legal, and social issues. This is important, access and use information, ethic and legal. We will talk about the next slides, the situation. There are three types of sources of information. The next one, the first one, primary sources. Primary sources are first-hand accounts or individual representations and creative works. For example, letters, diaries, films, etc. The second one, secondary sources build off a primary sources with more extensive and in-depth analysis. For example, textbooks, books, analyses, review articles, or article analyzing result of maintenance study, meta-analysis research. The third one, tertiary sources, are distillations and collections of primary and secondary sources. For example, directories, dictionaries, handbook guides, classification, and etc. The next question is how to reach these sources. We can reach these sources direct access. We can use our Hacettepe University library, or we can use the journals websites. We can access the online, and we can access the paper-based, and we can reach the author directly of the paper, and we can use document providing services. Let's look at the scientific journals. Scientific journals represent the most vital means for disseminating research findings, of course, and are usually specified for different academic disciplines or subdisciplines. We define as an information literate person. That's why we have to evaluate of journals. What is its scope, targets, and policy? Is it indexed by social science or index medicus? Who is publisher? Is there any web page of journal? Or we reach a paper about distance education applications. Who is the author of this paper? And background of author. Is authority of the distance education, for example. And it's so important, relevance with our problem situation. And which data collection tools, data collection methods for use in this study. And references are up to date or not. And when the research done. It's very important when we evaluate of journals. We may use electronic databases, for example, health databases. There are lots of health databases, but we use PubMed, the last one. Up to this slide in the presentation, we have included basic information, such as what is the definition of information literacy, what characteristic of information literate person should be, determining the appropriate problem situation, establishing your purpose regarding these problem situations, access the right sources, etc. In the next slide, we will talk about how reporting can be, and then lastly, I will tell you about your assignment. There are some guidelines for reporting your work. What these guides are is reported on the conference page if you are going to attend a conference, or on the page of the journal you will submit your work to do. The most widely used of this is the American Psychology Association guide. This guide has been published and seventh version, but we use now sixth version widely. You can find it very easily on Google if you write. This guide gives us information about how to reference in a text, or how to use this reference in the bibliography, or how to format the tables or figures in your study. Please review this guide before doing your assignment. Let's look at about your assignment. In your assignment, we will ask you to identify a topic or problem. What is the aim of your research according to this problem situation? What are the keywords you have identified before searching? Which journal do you want to send your work? We will ask you to note some information on the other guidelines page of the selected journal. Then, what sources will you use? We kindly ask you for information about the purpose of the research, selected research, when it was published, whether the sources are up to date or not. And finally, we will ask you to reference any part of this article according to 6th version. Thank you so much for your